Umeme does not pay you this money, do you think Ugandans will not hold you liable and responsible?
Chair, what I would say that we did everything in our powers to collect this money, but we were unable. And the only solution would have been to switch off Umeme, in which case the country...
No, not switching off Umeme. You could sue Umeme and get judgment. I mean, get attachment before judgment. Still, am I lying? Is it not provided for? Because you saw that Umeme was actually going, at least not disappearing from the books, but running broke. Anytime it could run broke. And I do not want us to say on national television that Parliament said Umeme is running broke. They have collected and could be in a position to have some money. But let's look at the microscopic event that they choose not to pay you. You would have attached to the process and said, no, 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 no. We keep giving you invoices. You are not paying. And did you inquire into the reasons why they are not paying? Because when somebody says, what are you going to do? You cannot switch me off because you have an agreement binds you. But you also had an agreement with them that requires them to pay within 45 days. Anyway, shall I interrogate that? Yes. Honorable Kanyike Salongo, Honorable Batua, you may wait, you're not a Salongo.
So Umeme and the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, they had a 1 month reconciliation because the concession ended on 28th of February. So they had a 1 month reconciliation. So in a normal way, someone would think that in that 1 month, UETCL, because being a government entity, you would have worked with your boss, the ministry, to reconcile whatever you are demanding from Umeme. So my question is, one, did you take an initiative to reconcile what you're demanding from Umeme? And if so, do you have the records with you? And then secondly, Umeme came up and said that they are demanding much compared to what they were compensated. Should we think that your compensation or what you're demanding Umeme is going to come after the monies which they say that they were not compensated from the government of Uganda? Thank you, Chair.
I think the question is, what is your buffer?
Through the CEO, Chair. Now, when this came to our attention, during the Umeme indicated that government owed them some money for the free connections they had done. And during that time, they had indicated they were demanding around 100 billion. Following that claim, we also wrote to the PSST to advise, and also Minister of Energy, to advise us in regard to that claim. And then the other thing, after Umeme concession came to an end, we are dealing with a company that's listed on the stock exchange. So the first initiative we did was to petition the Capital Markets Authority and the Uganda Securities Exchange, bringing to their attention the amount Umeme owes us, and indicating that the process is ongoing to have the same recovered from Umeme, because they are also regulated from that end. It's a regulated company. Now, the PPA provides for mechanism for recovery of that amount upon natural termination of the agreement. So the first one, we issued the notice of dispute to Umeme. The agreement allows the parties to amicably resolve the matter within 30 days in that regard, and discussions are ongoing. The last meeting we held with Umeme was last week, and they are committed, and they don't dispute the amount owed to us. So in case the matter is not resolved amicably, our next would be arbitration. And for us, we believe that we have a strong case given that
Mr. Commercial Manager, actually, Mr. Miro.
yes.
Mr. Miro, all you're talking about is very good for the books, for theory. If the amount is not disputed, if they are committed, they have been paid, why are they not paying you? And you're here to convince the country that, no, they will pay. Why were you writing to Capital Markets Authority, for example, if you trusted their word? Did you involve the minister who was paying them? Because the minister even borrowed money to pay them.
Chair, during that reconciliation audit which was undertaken by the Auditor General to verify the buyout amount, we wrote and we brought to their attention the amount due from Umeme to us, and that was brought to the attention of the Auditor General. And our request was...
Did you write to the minister? Did you involve
yes,
the minister?
the minister, yes.
That's the answer I want to hear. Share with us.
And our proposal was for that amount to be offset against the buyout amount as first recourse.
Okay, let's look at this 500 billion. Government of Uganda.
On number 5, there was an outstanding of 48 billion that we expected to collect from the government on account of the fact that we had used money in 2011 to pay the generators during that crisis of 2011, which was supposed to be a government subsidy for the thermal generators to make sure that the country did not go into darkness. So the government requested us to pay that they would refund the subsidy that was supposed to be going to these generators. To date, this money has not been paid, including also the compensation for the pension for former UEB staff that were related to UETCL of 15.6. Up to now, we have not received this money from government.
How long does it take you to write off a debt as a bad one, and what procedures do you undertake? Yes.
Chair, I think in terms
In your
of
debt management policy.
yes, once the debt is more than 90 days, you provide. I think that's the main substance of the realization that you might not be able to collect this debt, but writing off would mean like forgetting about the debt. So the substance is that these debts have been provided for.
Year in, year out.
For the period when they were over the 90 days, to reflect to the readers of these statements that this debt might not be collected. But we've not written them off because we know these are debts that are to the government. Government has been making commitments. A debt to the government can always be, you can convince them to pay it in a day. So writing it off would be a disservice to ourselves, given that we've already made provisions.
I agree, because the government is not about to die.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll look at your efforts in seeking to have the money paid. And this one you have unpacked by showing us it is Ministry of Energy and Finance. How does it relate to finance? Through commitment.
Because the government is, Minister of Finance is the one that provides these subsidies. And the only vote we a subvention, they would have to come through Minister of Energy.
Okay, supposing the ministry had not asked you to pay these people, where would you have put the money? I'm asking.
Sorry?
Supposing the government had not told you to pay these subsidies and also to pay these pensioners, where would you have put the money? Where do you normally put your money when you collect?
Chair, I will ask my head of commercial to say something to that, then I'll come in.
Ekitongole ng'ekya
ekyamagye Ministry ya Defense nga babanjibwa bilioni 157 mu masannyalaze agatali masasule. Ekitongole ng'ekya poliisi kibanjibwa bilioni 24, ekitongole ng'ekyamakomera kibanjibwa bilioni 22 n'abalala bangi. Kati ye Umeme kye yakolanga zikuzaalina okusasula abalala ng'agamba bali mbabanja tebansasudde kati ng'azisalirako eno. Jjukira nti Umeme terina byayo kubanga buli kintu kyonna kyerina twakisasulira ne tukigula ng'eggwanga through UETCL era ne mu ndagaano gye twakola. Era ky'ovola buli kintu kye baagulanga nga tumala kikakasa nti ekyo tukkiriza bakigule. So bye babadde balina byonna kazibe computers, kazibe emmeeza zonna zaffe. So kati ekibuuzo UETCL ekitongole ekibunya amasannyalaze kyo bwe kiba kibanja Umeme nga bwe kigibanja bilioni 5 n'okusoba kizinonawa kubanga tetumanyi oba ku akaunti ya Umeme kukyaliko ssente ezo. So twagala Umeme abeere wano, UETCL abeerewo ne baminisita babeerewo batubuulire bo bakkiriza batya okusasula Umeme agenda akiveemu kubanga Umeme talina mulimu mulala gwakola wano. Umeme tatunda nnyaanya, tatunda butungulu, ya omulimu gwe gwali gwa kusaasaanya tutusaako masannyalaze. Omulimu ogwo baagumuggyako. Kaakati UETCL gwebanja talina mulimu. Tetumanyi oba alina ssente. Mbinyiiza.